Alright, this is Andrew with Joda Home Inspections. We are doing a sewer scope today here in Mill Creek. Today is July 27th, 2025, and we have the camera pushed out 132 feet to the city connection. We're at 3199 south, 3075 east. Always a good sign when we make it all the way out to the city connection. Now we're going to pull it back and see what we find. So that first connection point is called the nose-on. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. Looks like a decent connection there. So far I'm not seeing any standing water, which is good. One of the main things I'm looking at is for proper grade. You always want everything to drain on its own with gravity. Looks like you have a liner, which is good. A liner gets blown into the old line, and then they harden it, and it's like having a new sewer line. As long as you have good grade, liners can be great. Probably not going to be under the house, but hopefully that's been done too. We'll see soon. See, that's an old joint. Liner goes right over the joint, pretty smooth there. Probably clay from this era. Yeah, and also just seeing the shape of that. They probably blew this through clay. You might have cast iron under the house. We'll find out if that's still there. You don't want to put liners over too big of an offset or joint, but these ones look fine. No standing water. I did go underwater at the very start, and so we'll see how that looks as we get closer. So here it transitions to plastic, and so that's a joint that's, you know, it's not a continuous liner. So there's a root coming through. Roots are more likely to come through joints. Not very big right now, but eventually you'll need to get that cleaned out. There's a piece of debris stuck in the line. Now we're transitioning to cast iron. Kind of what I expected. Cast iron gets really rough and rusty. It will eventually need to be replaced. This is under the basement slab, and so it's real hard to get to. You can clean it, where they clean it with a chain and it beats off all that scale and rust and makes it smooth again. You don't want to do it too aggressively because it can break through the line, and it's kind of unpredictable what lines will be thin enough to break and which ones won't. You can also get liners blown in under the house, but it's more difficult. You have lines that feed into this line under the house, and so you have to cut around those openings, and so that adds to the expense. We went through a little bit of debris there. I just shook some off my camera head. I don't know what's causing that buildup there, whether it's purely the roughness of the cast, but I noticed that as I pushed my camera out because my camera got covered and I couldn't see this entire line until I ran enough water to clear my camera head off. Starting to go underwater there, about 40 feet out. Came out of it before we even got to 30, so less than 10 feet long, but a little bit of a belly, a little bit of an offset here. Waste could potentially get stuck on that edge, but I'd say that's a more minor offset, minor to moderate, I'll call it. Now we're just coming back up the roof stack, so really not much to see here. To recap, You have a liner through the yard, which is great. The cast iron under the house, that's really the weakest link. This cast iron looks pretty rough. I'd recommend getting it cleaned today. There's already some waste stuck in the line. Maybe cleaning it would clear it in a way that it's not going to hold water or waste, but you might find that once it's cleaned, it might still hold some water. The only real way to know whether that's bad grade or just buildup is to clean it first. But I think even had I not found standing water or even that much waste, I would probably still recommend that it be cleaned because it is pretty rough. I always recommend getting the insurance on the line, but the insurance doesn't cover what's under the house, and so it's still not a bad idea to have, but it's not going to protect you on that most vulnerable area that hasn't been addressed or replaced. You can get interior drain line coverage with HomeServe, but they don't cover nearly as much, so maybe still not bad to have, but it's not going to cover nearly the amount as what their sewer line protection does. The sewer line protection is $10,000, but that's from the foundation out. The interior drain line protection is $3,500, I believe, and if you had to open up the slab, that's you're going to eat that up real quick. I'm going to end this recording now.